Easy from Eddie Hernandez.
I needed a minute to get used to the game here in GAW. In just a few years of my career, I've been everywhere on earth, won titles in multiple continents, set records, half a dozen different promotions, but the game in GAW is different. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. But I'll tell you this. All these dudes giving me matches, they're signing their own pink slips, man. You keep giving me opportunities to settle in. You keep giving me opportunities to break you down. Well, hey everybody, and welcome to GAW Dark. We are here in Atlanta with just 2 days to go before GAW After Party, so all eyes are on Miami right now as the wrestlers taking part in After Party prepare, make their final preparations before their matches, and of course the main event of Friday's show, Aleister Black versus Walter, no disqualification for the GAW World Championship. That alone should be enough to get you in the door, but if that's not, we got a whole stacked card there as well. All of that is to say, you better be locked right here on General Admission Wrestling on Friday. But we've got a hell of a card for you today in Atlanta. We begin with former Academy champion Scott Danielson, and he is taking on very possibly the hottest wrestler in GAW right now. There's a lot of competition for the title of hottest wrestler in General Admission Wrestling. There's no doubt about that. But I'll tell you what, Derrick Cole, the reason why he might find his name up at the top of that list is just because his rise has been so meteoric and so out of nowhere. It's not, you know, when you talk about the best wrestlers right now, you talk about the hottest wrestlers, obviously the Raw champion Midnight comes to mind. Hard to argue against him. Santanico. We'll be seeing him take on Derrick Cole coming up next week on Storm Chaser. But for Derrick Cole, it is absolutely unexpected. He has come in and had so much success right off the bat. It's pretty rare that you see someone excel at this level so early on. But here is Derrick Cole excelling at this level. And make no mistake, that's exactly what he is doing. He is excelling. And what that means is Derrick Cole, now we know that he's got his eyes set, at least in part, on the Academy Championship. Kurt Andrews and Derrick Cole got into it on Twitter a couple days ago. Go check out the last episode of Storm Chaser if you want to see what went down on the Bluebird app. But right now, Derrick Cole, he's got to consolidate against Danielson. And you heard Derrick Cole before the show as well. He says, you know what, the longer you let me settle in, the worse it's going to be for you. And right now, I don't think it's a choice for anyone that he's faced. I think no one's had the ability to beat him so far. 4-0 is Derrick Cole in GAW. It's already put him among the best records in the GAW Academy. Could be 5 wins for Cole. It would make him one of the quickest to 5 wins in GAW this year. First cover to do just that, and a kick out from Danielson. Scott Danielson's kind of been up and down. We saw him defeat Max Ultimate on Storm Chaser, but of course that was due in very large part to Stefford Drummond getting himself involved. And we will be seeing Drummond take on Max Ultimate in the main event of this show here in Atlanta. Cover from Danielson and an easy kick out from Cole. The power of Derrick Cole, 3-sport athlete, 3-sport professional athlete. Basketball, football, and track and field. This man is one of the best athletes you will see. Cole cut, countered by Danielson. Beautifully done, but Cole just drops a big knee to the gut, and Cole spikes him with a DDT. Basement DDT from Derrick Cole. A man who looked up, and there is the Cole cut. Just one of the many dangerous offensive moves that Derrick Cole has been known to use. And now Cole just firing away on Danielson. Big left hand shots to the former champ. This is what Derrick Cole can do to you. Again, it's all about the pace. It's all about the endurance. He can keep this going forever. That's what makes him so dangerous. Big shot to the gut, and Cole Heisman kick. Boom, right in the forehead for Derrick Cole. Found its mark. Cole with the leg hooked. Derrick Cole, 5-0. What a performance from him. It is something special to watch a kid this talented, someone with this much athleticism, go at it, compete at the top of his game, and that's exactly what Derrick Cole is doing here. Scott Danielson barely put a foot wrong all match, but unfortunately, with Derrick Cole, that's not enough. Not only do you have to not make mistakes, you've got to fight your best match, and even then, it might not get the job done. Derrick Cole unleashes the Heisman kick, and now we have a situation where Derrick Cole, he might start to work his way up here. We know he'll be main eventing Storm Chaser next Monday, and right now, even for the undefeated Santanico, he might find himself a real issue right now in Derrick Cole. Well, Derrick Cole has proved that he is incredibly dangerous. Rosita is also incredibly dangerous, although she hasn't been met with the same level of success that Derrick Cole has. Rosita is dangerous mostly because of the man in the corner of your screen. Hernandez has helped Rosita to a couple wins here, including a win over the now United States champion, Bianca Belair. Belair will be defending her title against Charlotte Flair coming up on Friday. Bandito, another member of the Latin American Exchange, LAX, as you can see on Hernandez's clothing. Bandito will be fighting for the Intercontinental Championship against Bobby Lashley. So that one I'm very much looking forward to. Bandito, the winner of the Rumble on the Beach, he is looking to become the 4th consecutive winner of the Rumble on the Beach to go on and win his title match. So that will be fantastic to see, especially because Conor McGregor and Bobby Lashley have not been able to leave well enough alone. So that all is coming up on Friday. Rosita trying to do her team proud here, trying to get 2 wins for LAX on the week. Kairi Sane has been seen in Atlanta several times here on GAW Dark, and she has always entertained fans, and she tends to win in this facility. Kairi Sane went 0-6 in Season 1. In Season 2, she's fared much better. 3 wins already for the Pirate Princess. She came up just short to Ronda Rousey ahead of Rousey's challenge for the World Championship at Bash at the Beach. Rousey will be challenging once again for the world title at After Party, this time in a tables match. The first time a World Championship, male or female, has been defended in a tables match. So history will be made in Miami. Kairi Sane, she's looking to make a little history for herself, trying to get to a 500 record this late in a GAW season for the first time since her first year in the company, 2017. I think there's no doubt who is going to get the fan support today. Rosita tends not to be well liked because of her cheating ways, her and Hernandez. Kairi Sane, on the other hand, a perpetual fan favorite, as we know. Sane had the opportunity to go up against Belair for the U.S. Championship. She was in a #1 contenders match against Charlotte Flair. Flair, of course, went on to win that match, and now it will be the Queen who battles Bianca Belair come After Party. Rear naked choke applied now by Rosita. I think she learned that one from Hernandez, but Kairi Sane, nice jawbreaker to counter. Rosita could not shift her weight backwards and get Kairi Sane onto the ground. As we know, Kairi Sane's biggest weapon, of course, the athleticism that she brings in, incredible speed. Rosita, that at one time was also her bread and butter, but now she has had to change her game a little bit. You know, what she had been doing was not working for her so well, and I think Hernandez has come in and allowed her to reinvent herself. Rosita had 2 wins all of season 1. She's already had 2 this year, and we are not near done. I suspect that Rosita will try to go for more championships as the season rolls on. Cover here from Sane and a kick out. Especially considering the fact that her teammate, her LAX teammate, Bandito, could very well be the Intercontinental Champion this Friday. Now we'll have to see, but Bandito is on the run of his life right now. Bandito undefeated this year, and again, winner of Rumble on the Beach. He's got Rey Mysterio in his corner. Mysterio was the first winner of the Rumble on the Beach. Everything is looking good for Bandito right now, but of course, the looming specter of Bobby Lashley, undefeated since the beginning of last year, 13-0 in all of his televised matches since we began on YouTube. So handing Lashley his first loss, that would be an incredible accomplishment. And for Bandito, I'm not sure a lot of betting men would take Bandito, given the fact that Lashley not only is undefeated, but of course flanked by the always dangerous Conor McGregor. Kairi Sane taking it to Rosita on the outside, but Rosita counters into a reverse DDT. Match has to be won in the ring. All you can do out here is inflict more damage, and Rosita's gonna do that with a German suplex. Absolutely nasty landing from Kairi Sane. And Rosita, basement drop kick. Sane might be out, but Rosita needs to get her in the ring if she wants to win this match. Sane trying to fight back. Remember, we got 15-second countouts here in GAW for all non-title matches. Allows the wrestlers a little bit more time. They don't have to worry so much about getting into the ring. And it makes for some very, very exciting moments, including now the fact that somehow Kairi Sane has the advantage right now, but Rosita leverages that athleticism. Nice. Enziguri finds its mark right on the temple. It's not often that Rosita does not give up a lot of size to her opponents, but that's exactly what we're seeing now. Irish whip comes off. Rosita underneath, and Kairi Sane caught her in the jaw. Rosita was looking for the exchange, but Kairi Sane just mashes her teeth with that super kick, and now Rosita springboard and Kairi Sane out of the way. Rosita looking for a handspring Pele kick, and Kairi Sane had it scouted all the way. Sane with a Northern Lights suplex and bridges as well, and Hernandez pulls the referee out of the ring. Hernandez believed that Rosita was in trouble, and the referee chastising the big man right now. That is not the first time that we've seen Hernandez get involved and help Rosita either out of a surely match-ending pinfall or to win a match. That's what he did against the now U.S. champion Bianca Belair. Sane, that's a nice takedown and targets the leg, yanks it back. That'll get you all the pressure on that knee. Kairi Sane going to continue the assault on the legs of Rosita. Sane knows exactly how to counter someone with a lot of athleticism. Kairi Sane, of course, has been approached like that. She's had her legs she's had her legs targeted, people trying to take her legs out from under her. She knows exactly what that's like. Sane with her up Michinoku driver. And Sane hooks the leg. Rosita's in trouble. Rosita kicks out. Kairi Sane's got to be feeling good about her chances right now. Rosita, it looked like she basically had the match won with a German suplex on the outside. Kairi Sane has battled back. And now I think we've got ourselves pretty much an even contest. Up onto the ropes goes Sane and Rosita. Another Irish whip off. Rosita underneath, and this time Rosita exchange from Rosita. The first time Kairi Sane had caught her, this time Rosita too fast to be caught. Leg hooked, and Rosita finally walks away with the win. albeit a fairly tainted one given the fact that Hernandez got himself involved and may very well have saved Rosita in this match. There is Kairi Sane catching Rosita with that kick. You know, the thing about the exchange, the reason why it's so devastating is, one, because you don't see it coming, and the torque that Rosita can get in her hips. I mean, it's like jumping out of a moving car. That's the best way I can describe it, where it doesn't look like you're moving that fast, but the velocity that you're going at and just the force with which you hit the ground, it's very, very unpredictable, the exchange, and Rosita absolutely knows that. So Rosita now surpasses her Season 1 wins total, and we are only in May of Season 2. We just saw Chandler Marcy make his debut last week. He came up just short to Max Ultimate, but Marcy is one of the best stories, I think, in general admission wrestling because of where he came from. Former football player, former standout football player at one of the great American football programs, that of course being the University of Texas. Marcy was the NCAA Defensive Player of the Year, and during his workouts for the NFL draft, where he was certainly expected to be at least a second-day pick, if not a first-round pick, Marcy decided, you know what, I want to go pursue professional wrestling. It was an incredibly risky decision. It's one that I don't know if anyone has ever made that was going to make as much money as Chandler Marcy was going to make. But that's a decision that he made, and now he ends up here in the GAW Academy. It's a phenomenal story, and Marcy finally getting an opportunity to show what he's about. Ramon Gutierrez has a much more conventional run to this point in his professional wrestling career. He began wrestling when he was just 11 years old, a native of Mexico, and he began training there at a very, very young age, made his professional debut at 16. He's been fighting ever since then. He's fought in mask versus mask matches. He's fought in Japan, Mexico, England, the United States. So this is a guy who obviously much more conventional in terms of how he got here to general admission wrestling than Chandler Marcy. But you know what? Any man can win on any given day, and maybe today is Marcy's day. What's the name of that movie? Any Given Sunday, right? Chandler Marcy would know that better than most. Into the corner goes Gutierrez, and Marcy looking for a big shoulder charge, and Gutierrez leveraging his speed. He's doing the right thing here. Marcy obviously going to have that power advantage. Look at the size of Chandler Marcy. 6'5", 255 pounds. This is a linebacker if you've ever seen one. But Ramon Gutierrez counters the big size and strength. Ramon! Springboard moonsault. Ramon is luchador bred, luchador trained. Everything about him screams luchador. And I know it's fairly obvious, but when we have so many men and women pushing the envelope in GAW right now, we don't really have anyone that you would consider to be a traditional luchador. At least what we would think of as traditional lucha libre wrestling. Chandler Marcy caught him in the knee with a German suplex. Marcy absolutely loving it, and why wouldn't you? When you got that level of power, look what he can do. Into the corner he goes, follows it up, another clothesline, and now Marcy catches him coming out with a side slam. Oh, we've seen Gutierrez several times now. We know how talented he is. We know how athletic he is. There's no doubt about that. And there he goes, catches Chandler Marcy up on the side of the head with a knee, and Marcy kicks out. All we know about Chandler Marcy is how powerful he is, and once again, catches Gutierrez coming in with that knee. And a German suplex with the release. Chandler, Marcy, my goodness. And now Marcy, Blackheart driver. That is an homage to his time spent in Second City Wrestling as part of the Blackhearts. And now Marcy looking for a cover, but maybe he was too slow, and he was. You can tell that even though Marcy, obviously in peak physical shape because of his football career, you know, professional wrestling, it's a little bit different. The demand, what it demands of you from a cardiovascular perspective, it's a little different. And now Marcy with a DDT on the apron. So from his perspective, you know, he might struggle a little bit looking for a package pile driver. My God, that could be the end of Ramon Gutierrez. And thankfully, the luchador countered that. Pro wrestling takes such a different level of cardiovascular fitness than almost any sport in the world. And Chandler Marcy, he's not quite at that physical shape yet. Not that he won't get there. Moonsault from Ramon Gutierrez. I'll tell you what, he is in that kind of physical shape. Cover and a kick out from Marcy. Gutierrez has done so much here, and now Gutierrez finally connects. Big running knee strike right on the jaw, right near the corner. Cover here, and Gutierrez stuns Chandler Marcy with that knee strike. Quick as a hiccup, Ramon Gutierrez picks himself up another win. Gutierrez has been fantastic since he made his debut, and for the luchador, that'll be 3 straight wins for him. Picking out of the Blackheart driver, that is huge. There's another look at the Blackheart driver. And you can see Marcy, he's got his hands on his knees. He's got to take a breath after that one, and had he not, he may very well have picked up the win with this move. Gutierrez kicked out at about 2.5, but Marcy was unable to convert and cover him right away, and I think that did hurt him. And again, that's something that Marcy is going to improve on. That's something he's going to learn. There's no question about it. He's got all the talent in the world. It's just about repetition. It's just about continuing to train hard. And Ramon Gutierrez, he's done that. Well, Katana's been away for a little bit, but we know that the Japanese sword represents a very disciplined, very dangerous opponent to anyone she steps in the ring with. Just ask Caitlin Dunlap. It was, unfortunately for Katana, her mistake that she beat Caitlin Dunlap twice. Dunlap attacked Katana several different times, and it all culminated in a steel cage where Caitlin Dunlap got the win over the Japanese sword. Katana was nursing an injury after that match happened, and you can imagine how devastating to the body that kind of match is. But thankfully, Katana is back, and she's seen a lot of changes here. We've seen a lot of changes in the Academy since then. And here is one of them. Christine Buckley has really made a name for herself since Katana has been injured. So Katana comes back into active competition, and suddenly you've got Christine Buckley that's making her way slowly but surely up the rankings, as it were. Buckley trained by the great Becky Lynch, and you can tell that that Buckley embodies a lot of what Becky Lynch brought to the table in her early career. Buckley, I mean, you can certainly see the similarities between the two, and in terms of intensity, in terms of the kind of fight that you'll get in the ring, Christine Buckley certainly brings that as well. The dangerous buckshot may be in the cards for Katana at some point. So this is the first time that we've seen Katana since her steel cage match with Caitlin Dunlap. And Katana obviously ready to get back in the ring, as you can see. Now Buckley's been a lot more active since Katana was injured. But Katana, she's got more experience than Christine Buckley, a little older, a little bit more well-traveled. Buckley, though, does have that fire, that passion. and she can push the tempo of a match just because she is so passionate. And there is an exploder suplex from Buckley. She uses several different variations of the exploder, one of which is exceptionally dangerous, one that she got a win with pretty recently. Buckley just trying to find her way in GAW. Katana, meanwhile, she, as part of the Storm Chasers, looking for a powerbomb. Christine Buckley goes over the top of the sunset flip. Buckley trying to steal it right now, and Katana kicks out. Now, Buckley, of course, she, as I say, still trying to figure out her identity, along with several women who have come in to GAW recently, one of which, of course, is Valeska Pierce, the current #1 contender for the Academy Championship. Pierce beat the champion, Catherine Sakamoto, in her first night in the company. So compared to that, any woman making her GAW debut at this point, you know, if you compare her to Catherine, it would be fairly disappointing, or compare her to Valeska, rather, it would be fairly disappointing, but I don't think you should do that. I think Christine Buckley has had a fine first few months in general admission wrestling, given, you know, what she is kind of coming through. And now Katana with a German suplex from the top. Dangerous move from Katana, and Buckley finds herself in trouble, and Buckley kicks out. Katana, born and raised and trained in Japan, and now Katana applies the armbar. Very interesting, of course. Christine Buckley uses that buckshot Fujiwara armbar. Katana going for more of a conventional style. Doesn't get the job done there, but Buckley able to get out of the way of that kick. Beautiful rolling soul butt into the exploder. And you can see the distance, the power in Christine Buckley's hips and back. Catches the kick again. That exploder suplex. It has been a dangerous move in her arsenal, that we know. Oh, what a drop kick. Buckley got some height on that one and connected right on the bridge in the nose of Katana. And now Buckley, single arm takedown and buckshot applied from Christine Buckley. Beautiful takedown, and Katana in real trouble. You can see her trying to move around, just trying to free her arm from the clutches of Christine Buckley, and she does just yank her arm away from Christine. Buckley ducks underneath what I think would have been a Frankensteiner. Katana, quite athletic in her own right. Christine Buckley with a spinning DDT. Look at that. Not something we always see from the Irish Lass, but Christine Buckley pulling out all the stops in front of the fans in Atlanta today. Cover, kick out from Katana. So Katana has never seen Christine Buckley in the ring, and indeed, Katana has not exactly been, I mean, she hasn't been in ring shape for a long time now, and Christine Buckley turning up the pace. This is what makes her so dangerous. Buckley again with that exploder. Look at the distance that Katana rolls off that. No wonder it's so dangerous. Katana's found out firsthand. Christine Buckley with the exploder. That's the second time we've seen her do it. The buckshot is incredibly dangerous, but so shockingly, it's been that exploder suplex that has been Christine's most dangerous weapon so far. I am very, very surprised, because when you look at the torque that she puts on the arm in that buckshot, you would think that that has been how she's won any match that she's won, and certainly in her career that has been the case. But for whatever reason, coming to GAW, maybe it's the elevated level of competition. Everyone knows about the buckshot. They have it well scouted. Whatever the case may be, Christine Buckley's exploder suplex has become probably the most dangerous move in her arsenal right now. So how exactly do you counter that? How do you counter the power of Christine Buckley? Well, that's for someone else to figure out. It wasn't for Katana to know on this day. Another win for Christine. And coming up next, we have another very bright up-and-coming prospect, now under the tutelage of a former champion. Well, Suzuki is certainly someone who has struggled to find herself in Season 2. We always talk about it, but her 0-6 record, very, very disappointing for Thunderbolt, given how highly she was touted coming in. And, you know, sometimes these things do happen. You know, this is sports, so anything can happen on any given day. And sometimes you do just kind of get yourself into a mental funk a little bit. I hate to even bring this up, but you know, in other sports, specifically baseball and basketball, we talk about the yips, meaning that sometimes mentally there's just a block you can't get past, and it totally ruins your focus and totally changes your play on the field, or in this case, in the ring. I don't want to speculate and say that that's what's going on with Suzuki, but certainly she has not risen to the heights that she would have expected at this point. I think that's safe enough to say. But again, any given Sunday, as they say, so maybe today in Atlanta is Suzuki's given day. Well, I mentioned we've got a up-and-coming young star here in Sophia Sweetness, and look who that is. Helping her out today, the former Academy champion, Lazara. Now, this came about because Sophia and Lazara had a match just a few weeks ago over on Storm Chaser, and Lazara, of course, ended up winning that match, but she was very impressed with what Sophia Sweetness brought to the table in that one. And so after the match, the two shook hands, and I'm told that they went back and started discussing, and the two of them just have been training together and watching film together, and Lazara is very impressed with Sophia Sweetness. So here's how we get this. From people that I've talked to, Lazara has said that what impresses her so much about Sophia is that Sophia is not set in her ways at all. Suzuki looking for an early win here. Suzuki rolls back on the cover, and Sophia just able to power her way out. So Lazara has said she's so impressed with the fact that Sophia is willing to change her game and willing to rethink some of the ways that she does things. Lazara has said that that was the biggest thing that her trainer, Lita, taught her while they were in their training. Muda lock here applied by Suzuki. Talk about someone changing their game a little bit. I have never seen Suzuki do this. Sophia trying to power out and free that grip, and she does. So Lazara says that Sophia reminds her a lot of Lazara when she was beginning her journey in professional wrestling. So it's very interesting. Lazara, the former champ. Now, normally you might be saying, well, why isn't she going after the championship now? Why isn't she going after Catherine Sakamoto? Well, if you remember back to Bash at the Beach, the stipulation in that match, in a 2 out of 3 falls 3-way dance, was that the two losers were not allowed to challenge for the championship as long as the winner held the title. And right now, Catherine Sakamoto still the champion. So Lazara unable to challenge for the championship as of now. So why not pick up a young protege? And, you know, they say that when you teach, you almost learn more about yourself than your student does. And so, you know, maybe Lazara's viewing this as sort of a self-learning type of situation working here with Sophia Sweetness. Sophia choking Suzuki near that bottom rope. Referee calls for the break. Sophia does. And now Suzuki, beautiful go behind and a takedown. Look at that. That is the mixed martial arts ability of Suzuki. Third generation mixed martial artist. Two lariats, catches the kick, and Suzuki with a takedown. And you can see the size discrepancy as well. I haven't gone through, but Suzuki may very well be the biggest woman in GAW right now. And we've seen her attempt to dominate using her size, but she does need to rethink her strategy a little bit because she has lost to much smaller competitors. Of course, most notably, Queen Alexia, who shocked the world by beating Suzuki a couple months ago. So Sophia Sweetness trying to do the same thing here. And to be honest with you, I wouldn't exactly be shocked if she did. Big strikes from Sophia, and now Suzuki lying against that bottom rope. Sophia Sweetness with a drop kick. Finds its mark right on the temple of Suzuki. Lazara loving that. I wonder if Lazara taught her how to do that. Sophia Sweetness looking for a cover, and Suzuki kicks out. You wonder if Lazara had a hand in telling Sophia, hey, maybe you should try this. I wouldn't be surprised. Sophia looking good right now. How ready is she mentally to be in this kind of position where she's ahead in a match? Sophia's 0-3 so far. Of course, one of those losses is to Lazara. Lazara and Suzuki have fought each other before. So Suzuki knows exactly who she's dealing with right now. She knows Lazara. She knows how Lazara would be training Sophia Sweetness, and certainly from Suzuki's perspective, you know, Suzuki has been in enough training rooms both in wrestling and martial arts to know how that dynamic works. Lazara picking Sophia Sweetness up, gets her to her feet at the behest of Suzuki, it seems. So the referee's going to let that one go, and Suzuki's going to allow Sophia to get her wits about her. Sophia getting a little coaching right now from the former champion. That is not a bad option to have in your corner, a former champion like Lazara, and Sophia going to make good use of it with a butterfly suplex. Talk about learning from the best. Lazara is probably the best women's champion we've had. And Sophia Sweetness now has her in her corner, and now Sophia unleashing with the kicks right to the chest. Suzuki would know exactly how devastating those could be. Sophia, well done, reads that sliding kick and catches Suzuki into a suplex. Lazara loving it. Halfway through the time limit in this match, and Sophia Sweetness has been the most dangerous so far, but of course that can change at any time. And from Suzuki's perspective, she's got some very dangerous submissions in her arsenal. We know that for sure. Back waist lock, Sophia gets her elbows up. Got to be flexible to get your elbow up to that height, but Suzuki, look at how far she drops. Package pile driver. The height of Suzuki makes that so dangerous. And now, after the package pile driver went for a powerbomb, Sophia rolls through. Sophia, sunset flip, and now Sophia trying to steal it. Suzuki kicked out. Just barely. I thought Sophia had the win right there. Could barely get her arms around the tree trunk legs of Suzuki, but she does stun her with that right hand. Into the corner she goes. Lazara trying to help out Suzuki here. Or trying to help out Sophia, rather. Sophia up onto the middle rope. Beautiful snap suplex. Look at the velocity, and she needed that middle rope assist given the size of Thunderbolt. Into the corner goes Suzuki, and Sophia looking for something else here. A lot of her work has been done in the corners of this ring. And again, I wonder if that is a Lazara adjustment. Sophia off the middle rope, and Suzuki sends her to the ground, and now Suzuki applies the legacy. The cross arm breaker, Suzuki driving it in, and Sophia's fighting hard. Sophia trying to get out of this arm bar, and Suzuki lets it go. Letting it go, but not giving her any time. Suzuki covers. We've seen her do this before. Suzuki lets go of the legacy and immediately goes for a cover, and Lazara was trying to warn Sophia that that was going to come. It's such a difficult thing to counter against, because what Suzuki does is she drives all of that pain into your elbow and your tricep, and if she feels like you're not tapping out fast enough, then she'll release it, and you might think, oh, maybe you're under the rope or something, and quicker than you can think, Suzuki goes for a cover. So you're feeling all that pain coursing through your arm, exactly what you need to try to kick out, and that's what we saw today. So Sophia's certainly better than she was. Chalk that up to Lazara, but still a little ways to go for the rookie Sophia Sweetness. Coming up next is our main event. Max Ultimate takes on Stefford Drummond. Well, Max Ultimate's been in the news a lot recently, whether it was his return from injury, the subsequent winning streak he went on, his first time on the microphone thanking the fans, and then being interrupted by Stefford Drummond, and then having Stefford Drummond cost him a match against Danielson this past Monday. Max Ultimate has been the story, and it's good to see, because Ultimate, you know, it certainly seemed like it was going to take a long time for him to work his way up early on, and that's not a dig on him at all. You know, a lot of people, they do take a long time, but Ultimate, he's beginning to find himself right now, and good for him.
How did you find a way to run from the city of the sun? You could have stayed.
Now, Stefford Drummond said that he took issue with Ultimate giving so much praise to the fans, because in Stefford Drummond's words, he worked for 30 years and never got an ounce of appreciation from people like this. So why would you be thanking them? That's again in his words. I don't endorse anything like that, certainly from Stefford Drummond, but that's what he believes. He's entitled to his beliefs, and Drummond, I mean, what he's not entitled to do is get involved in someone else's match, and that's exactly what he did with Max Ultimate. So that's exactly why we have a match right here. Ultimate gonna get a little bit of revenge, exactly how we like to do it in professional wrestling. He's gonna get that revenge in the ring, and hopefully he does. Stefford Drummond, it would be very hard to stomach if Drummond is to get a win after what he did last Monday. So I'm going to be honest with you, I think Stefford Drummond was a little bit out of line with what he said to Max Ultimate. I understand that Stefford Drummond has a long career working in some kind of chemical plant or something. He never really says what it is, but he had a long career doing that, and you know, he says he never really got appreciated for it. And you know what? Look, Stefford, you invite that energy into your life, you know? If Stefford feels like he's surrounded by negative and pessimistic people, well, then maybe I would implore him to look inward a little bit on that, because you do look at someone like Max Ultimate who stayed positive despite losing some matches, despite maybe not getting off to the start that he would have expected, and you see what he's been able to do, and you see how good he's been ever since then. And you see that Ultimate really has kind of willed that into existence in a way. Drummond has made himself better, and the fans have responded so well to him because they feel like they're a part of this. Ultimate now off the middle rope, springboard kick finds its mark. We've seen him win with that before, and he could be looking to pick up a very quick win here. Drummond kicks out. That's just one of the many offensive moves that Max Ultimate has used to pick up wins in the past. We've seen a whole plethora of them, and here comes another one that we've seen. Up under the shoulders goes Drummond. Max damage. We know how dangerous that one's been, and now Ultimate, right after the springboard kick, putting some more pressure on Drummond. Max Ultimate, look at how quick that was. 90 seconds in, Max Ultimate. Wow, would you look at this? Springboard kick and a max damage, and that's all it takes. And that just goes to show you, it sounds cliche, but the power of positivity. Max Ultimate has reinvented himself, and good for him. He gets what he deserves here, and that's a win over Stefford Drummond, the man who cost him a match last week. Congrats to Ultimate, and Stefford Drummond back into the ring. Drummond's back in, and Drummond taking the chair to the legs and chest of Max Ultimate. This is ridiculous now. Ultimate slowly to his feet. Stefford Drummond, get a job. Unbelievable. And now look Look at the disrespect of Stefford Drummond. Push-ups in the face of Max Ultimate. Absolutely disgusting. We've come to expect this from someone like Stefford Drummond, but I never thought that even he would stoop this low. Folks, thank you so much for joining us on GAW Dark. I'm so sorry you had to see that, and make sure you subscribe because we have After Party coming up on Friday. You do not want to miss that show. We appreciate you.
When the day is done, I never knew you was a runner, yeah. I mistook you for a son. It don't matter.